What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and I thought I'd do a podcasty level look at the new Blazing Vortex series, which I believe comes out February 5th, so it's coming up pretty soon. I'm actually going to go card by card, so that's why I say it's going to be podcast style. So I'm literally going to go through every card that's going to be featured in the set, because the new Arm Dragon stuff I have not gone over. The S-Force is there as well, along with maybe there's just other good cards, and I give you guys my opinion on it, and we'll just see. I know Trishula is in here. I heard about that one, so that's pretty cool. And a Starlight Rare. That obviously would be a really nice card to have, but we'll see if this... I'll let you guys know if this set is worth buying or not. That's always my main goal, because I very much know that there are some garbage quality products. I'm not some sort of sheep or anything like that, but I'm also not a Konami hater. I don't think all of their products are horrible. So anyways, we're starting up with something so weird. They're calling this Amen Kujaki. Sure, I don't even know if that'll be the real name, but anyways, such a weird card. So you cannot activate effects of other special summon monsters with the same attribute as this card. Once per turn during the main phase of this card's owner, quick effect, you can give control of this card to your opponent, then you, the activating player, can make this card become any attribute until the end of the turn. So you're going to have to try to find a way. This is so strange. You give your control to your opponent, obviously, if they're playing some sort of archetype deck where they all have the same type or attribute, then they can't activate those effects. It can be negated, obviously, but the cool thing is that it is a quick effect. But it has to be of this card's owner. So I guess your opponent can give it back to you. I don't know. Are you gonna use your? Are you gonna use your normal summon on this, or this is almost a card that you want to stash away just for some reason. I don't know why, but it's very intriguing without a doubt. Looks like we have some Ancient Warrior stuff, which is interesting. Cannot be normal summoners. This is excuse me, Ancient Warrior Rebellious Lufang. This is a Dark Beast Warrior effect, level 8, 2800 attack, 2200 defense. Pretty interesting. Cannot be normal summoner set. Must be special summoned from your hand by controlling the highest attack Ancient Warrior monsters on the field, even if it's tied. You can only special summon Ancient Warriors Rebellious Lufang once per turn this way. So it's a free special summon, which is nice. Once per turn during the main phase, quick effect. You can destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls with the highest attack your choice if tied. Also, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of this turn. You activate this card effect except Ancient Warrior monsters, which is par for the course. Once per turn during the end phase, if your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack on the field, give control of this card to your opponent. I don't know where that comes from, but I'm assuming if you're destroying the highest attack, 28 would most likely still be the highest on there. It's a really weird stipulation, but still, I think I'm not like ultra familiar with Ancient Warriors, but I would imagine that's a pretty decent card for sure. This is a continuous drop for Ancient Warriors, okay. If Ancient Warrior monsters you would be destroyed by battle, you could send this card to the graveyard instead. Meh. You can only use each of the following effects of Ancient Warrior Saga: Chivalrous Path once per turn. If your opponent special summons a monster, you can special summon one Ancient Warrior Dragoon token, a Beast Warrior Win level 1 attack, 500 attack, 500 defense. And a card or effect is activated that targets an Ancient Warrior's monster on the field. You can banish this card from your graveyard and negate the activation. I can't say for sure, but it sounds like it stinks. Your opponent has to destroy it by battle. Or, I guess the card effect is in the graveyard, but this is a continuous trap, so they have to destroy this card. And I don't know what a token does, so yeah, that does not get my seal of approval. Sorry, Ancient Warriors. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is the Angel statue. Special summon this card as an effect monster. This card is also treated as a trap, which is interesting. Once per turn, when your opponent would special summon a monster, while this card is in your monster zone, you can send to the graveyard one continuous trap in your monster zone that was special summoned from the spell and trap zone. Negate the summon, and if you do, destroy this monster, or destroy that monster. When this card of the monster zone is destroyed by battle, you can destroy the monster that destroyed this card. So you got to be playing a continuous trap deck, and it has to be continuous traps that special summon themselves. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I mean, obviously Eldish is the first thing that comes to mind. Paleozoic would be another card. God forbid you play this in a Egyptian god deck because of the slime card. So it's just, you have to, like, you got to get pretty far. Like, you got to summon it first. I wonder if you can trigger it upon special summon. Yeah, but it seems like it has to be upon summon. So you got to use this effect really quick. So I don't know. That would be another card I think to stash away. You just never know. It's intriguing. I think it's okay. I don't think it's great. That's a super rare. Okay. And this is Archfiend, Staff of Despair. It's an equip spell. Okay. Equip only to a monster you control. During the main phase, you can make all monsters your opponent currently controls lose attack equal to half the attack of the equipped monster's attack until the end of this turn. Okay. If this card is sent to the graveyard while equipped to a monster, you can pay 1,000 life points, return this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Archfiend, Staff, or Despair once per turn. This card would only be interesting if you couldn't be negated. Other than that, it's not worth it to me. So that's just how I feel about that one. Okay, and okay, so now we're getting into the Armed Dragon stuff. Here we go. This is Armed Dragon Blitz, normal spell. Target one Armed Dragon monster you control. Take one monster with the same name from your deck or graveyard and either add it to your hand or special summon it, ignoring its summon conditions, but it cannot attack directly. You can only activate one Armed Blitz Dragon per turn. You cannot special summon monsters a turn. You can activate this card, except Dragon monsters, which is totally fine. Are Thunder Dragon monsters dragons? I don't think so. So I know that doesn't. I just know Thunder's in the name. So I was just curious going into this if there was any sort of synergy between the two of them, but it's obviously a free like emergency teleport. So you're going to be running 3 of those in your Armed Dragon deck, off clip, as we say in the business. Here's Armed Dragon Flash. This is a really high rarity. Special summon 1 level 3 Armed Dragon monster from your deck in defense position. You can only activate 1 Armed Dragon Flash per turn. So, yep, another good card for the Armed Dragon archetype, obviously. They're starting off well. I don't think anyone's playing this deck, and that's a secret rare. Oh, I don't know if you'd want that to be one of the slots for a secret rare, but let's see. We'll just keep going. I mean, I like it so far. Armed Dragon Lightning, a continuous spell. If an Armed Dragon monster you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. Okay, that's decent enough. You can target 1 Armed Dragon monster you control and activate one of these effects. Okay, it gains attack equal to its level times 100, even if this card leaves the field. I guess is nice, but not fantastic. Add 1 Armed Dragon monster with equal or lower level from your graveyard to your hand. I mean, I think you burn through a lot of resources, so this is one way to get it back. It feels a little underwhelming, but I think you would definitely be able to trigger it first turn as long as you have a singular Armed Dragon, because I think they all special summon from the deck. I don't know if that's a 3-up necessarily, but I think you are playing that in your deck somewhere. This is an ultra rare, so this is Armed Dragon level 10 white. They're putting a lot into this, so cannot be normal summoner set, and this is a light dragon, level 10, 3000 attack, 2000 defense, so I think this is the highest one, I'm guessing. Must be special summoned by its own effect. You can banish Armed Dragon monsters from your field and or graveyard whose total level is equal to 10. Special summon this card from your hand. Then you can add 1 white veil from your deck to your hand. Interesting. Okay, so that destroys all spells and traps, and your opponent can't respond with spells and traps. That's okay. I can vibe with that. You can only use this effective Armed Dragon level 10 white once per turn. You take no effect damage. Alright, at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can destroy one card on the field. So level 10, good. I see no reason why that's not a good card. Alright, Armed Dragon off to a decent start, and it might be something to look into. This card becomes, this is a Armed Dragon Thunder level 3, so this is one of the lower ones. Monster Wind Dragon, 1200 attack, 900 defense. Doesn't matter, you're going to be, you know, summoning up. So this card becomes Armed Dragon level 3 while in the field or in the graveyard. Yeah, because they're all just retrained, right? You can only use each of the following effects of Armed Dragon Thunder level 3 once per turn. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard. Send this card from the field to the graveyard to you. Special summon one level 5. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon Monster's effect, you can draw one card. So this card replaces itself, which is nice. And I think that's the lowest level, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll try to do these in order. Okay, it is kind of. Level 10 was just first. So this is level 5, so this is what you're going into next. Wind Dragon effect, level 5, 2400 attack, which is kind of nice, actually. Just the next level up, right? This card's name becomes Armed Dragon level 5, while it's on the field or in the graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Armed Dragon Thunder level 5 once per turn. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard. Send this card from the field to the graveyard. If you do, special summon one level 7 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon Monster's effect, you can add one level 5 or higher Wind Dragon monster from your deck to your hand. You can grab another copy of itself. Well, obviously the main effect is just going up to the next one, but yeah, that's so weird. I guess I don't know if there's another level 5, but okay. Interesting. That one's not so great, for sure. Let's see what level 7 does. And I'm not going to read the first part, but this is Armed Dragon Thunder level 7. It's level 7, Wind Dragon, 2800 attack, 1000 defense. So it's kind of actually disappointing that it only has 2800 attack, to be honest with you. Okay, so obviously you rank up to level 10. So what's its effects? If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon Monster's effect, you can add one Armed Dragon card from your deck to your hand. So I guess 5 and 7 are all dedicated to making sure you can do the same thing next turn. Which, you know, how bad can that be, really? But it started off so well, level 10, and I liked level 3, because one replaced itself, one added White Veil. I don't know, but, oops. I thought I saw, did I go over all of these, or did I think I skipped one. Yes, okay, so this is just straight up Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. This is not white. If this card was special summoned by the effective Armed Dragon monster, it gains the following effects based on its attack. Okay, it becomes Armed Dragon level 10. Control of it cannot be switched. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Okay, so these are all automatic, I guess. Because its attack is base 3000. 1000. Once per opponent's turn, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one other card on the field, destroy it. And if you do, this card gains 1000 attack. Alright. And then if it has over 10,000, you can destroy all their cards on the field. I don't know how this is getting 10,000 attack. Is it a quick? It's not even quick effect. Wow, this thing fell apart real quick indeed. So that kind of stinks. Yeah, I don't like that much, to be honest with you. But okay, here is the trap card. Okay, here, this is how apparently you boost the attack. This is Armed Dragon Thunderbolt. This is a normal trap. Target one Armed Dragon monster you control. It gains 1000 attack for each Armed Dragon monster in your graveyard with an equal or lower level than it. If it gains 1000 for each Armed Dragon monster in your graveyard with an equal or lower level than it, and with different names from each other. Also, for the rest of this turn, your opponent takes no battle damage from its attacks. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one dragon spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So that's kind of nice, but so you need 7 different. Yeah, because it only gains attack 1000 for each Armed Dragon monster in your graveyard. with an equal or low. So I mean, obviously you're gonna be in the 10, so everything's gonna count. They have to be different names from each other. How you're not gonna get 7 in there? There's not even 7 different monsters. Whack, dude. It's so weird. Man, it had the makings of something interesting, and then it just really wasn't at all. But okay, so that's Armed Dragon. Okay, looks like we're going away from it now. This is Armored Dragon Ritual. It's a ritual spell. Okay. It's used to ritual summon Knight of the Armored Dragon. It must also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose levels equal 4 or more. During the main phase, except the turn this was sent to the graveyard, it can banish monsters from your hand or face-up field whose total levels equal 4 or more. Banish this card from your graveyard, and if you do, special summon 1 Knight of Armored Dragon from your graveyard. Okay, so what is Knight of Armored Dragon? You can ritual summon this card, yep. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, you can shuffle that monster into the deck. You can tribute this card, special summon 1 level 5 or higher Wind Dragon monster from your hand or deck. Okay, so this is still sport for Armed Dragon apparently. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, Knight of the Armored Dragon, interesting. All right, I like it. Why not? That objectively exists, and there's nothing I can do about that. It's okay. I mean, that definitely helps it a lot. This is Breath of Acclamation. This is a normal spell. Can be used to ritual summon any wind ritual monster. Must also tribute monster from your hand or field whose total levels exactly equal the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. I don't. Okay, it's just a generic. Why would you not use the last one? Is really, I guess, the question that we're all wanting to know. I don't get that one, so we'll maybe it'll make sense later. We'll see. This is Constellar Caduceus. Okay. If you control a Constellar monster, except Constellar Caduceus, I don't think I'm saying that right, you can special summon this card from your hand. During the main phase, you can add 1 Constellar spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use each of the previous effects of this card's name once per turn. A Constellar Xyz Monster that has this card as material gains this effect. If this card battles a light or dark monster before damage calculation, you can banish that monster. Light and dark make up like the majority of Yu-Gi-Oh monsters, or at least the ones that are played. So I'm going to say this is objectively a really good card. I don't know if Constellar even has good spell or traps. I've never played the deck before. But if it does get it in the future, obviously, this is going to be the important card to have. So this is one card I would for sure pick up from this set if you are interested in stocking away cards. And I may do another video about that as well. Except we have a digital bug support. Cannot be used as XYZ material for an XYZ summon except for an insect monster. When you normal summon a level 3 insect monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can make both this card and that monster level 5 or higher. Or no, you can make that monster level 5 or 7. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can change the battle position of 1 insect monster you control. An Xyz Monster that was special summoned using this card as material, it gains 1,000 attack and defense. So this is kind of like a code. I can't even think of the name now, but there is another level 4 monster that does the exact same thing. It's like Kagatori or something like that. But you can also level manipulate, so you can either be 3, 5, or 7. I would imagine that's pretty good. The 1,000 attack and defense is kind of a throwaway, but still, I would imagine this is something you definitely want to play in digital bugs. Base stats 1,000 at 1,000 level 3. It's okay. But in the digital bug archetype, I'm going to say that's a 3 of. Looks like we're going on to Dogmatic Genesis. This is a trap card. Target 1 Banished Fusions, Synchro XZ, or Link monster, and 1 effect monster your opponent controls of the same type. Return that banished monster to the extra deck, and if you do, negate the effects of that monster your opponent controls. So conditional. I mean, it has to be banished. And so, yeah, no. I don't even know how you banish a lot of these cards. I mean, I know you can get the fusion one banished because it searches. Wind Pegasus, I suppose, can banish itself from the graveyard. It's not it, Chief, and it has to be the same type, so it's so just like everything has to line up for you. I'm not interested in that card, personally. Alright, looks like we have some Dragunity Knight support. This is a Wind Synchro. This is base stats are 26,000, 2,600, 1,300, defense level 7. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target one Dragunity tuner in your graveyard, equip it to this card. Quick effect. You can send one equipped card you control that is equipped to this card to the graveyard, then target up to 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard, banish them. I think it's decent utility because it equips itself, so you're always going to be able to, trigger the banish effect. I mean, it is situational, but the good thing is obviously it's in the extra deck, so it's not like you're going to be drawing into it. It's a good card for sure. I like it. This is Dream Mirror support, okay. It's a continuous trap. If a Dream Mirror monster you control would be attributed to activate its own effect, shuffle it into the deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. I'm going to guess that's something that's good for them. During the main phase, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard. Place one of your Dream Mirror of Joy or Dream Mirror of Terror that is banished from your graveyard face up in your field zone. Then you can special summon one monster from your hand that specifically lists the card and its text. I'm going to guess that activating it from the graveyard is a good thing. I still don't know what Dream Mirrors do other than change field spells, but every time they change into different field spells, it never actually does anything, it feels like. But this, I'm going to say, is good for Dream Mirrors. The effect seems pretty par for the course, and I'm going to also guess that shuffling it into the deck is better than it being in the graveyard for some reason. This is an ultra rare. It's dual avatar support. It's a fusion monster. Okay. This is 2,000 attack, 3,000 defense. Nice. Because I know how easy it is to get these summoned out. Even if you can't activate the effects, at least you have 3,000 defense in times of emergency. Dual avatar empowered Mikyo. The first time each dual avatar fusion monster you control would be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not. I wonder if when you activate this effect, if you didn't properly fusion summon it with the fusion material, or no, maybe it doesn't accept it. Maybe it has to be the Kyoku. Okay, that's okay. Once per turn, you can return all spells and traps your opponent controls to the hand. When a monster effect is activated on your opponent's field, while you control 2 or more fusion monsters, quick effect, you can destroy that monster. It can be responded to, but I mean, it is good to have it back to the hand. I guess you would prefer it to be destroyed, but hey, what are you gonna do? When a monster effect is activated, you get to control 2 fusions, but I think you can at least cheat out the other 2 with all the tokens that you have. I remember reading all the dual avatars once and just not being a massive fan of it, so yeah, I think that's good for dual avatar, and we'll find its place in there, and it may be summoned out as much as possible, actually. This is another dual avatar card. It's a normal trap. As this, it looks like the same artwork as the guy from the extra deck that we just saw. Target one dual avatar monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon one dual avatar monster from your deck or extra deck whose level is 1 higher or lower than that monster that it had on the field. But yeah, I don't know why you'd want to do this, because the fusions lose their effect when they're not properly summoned. It cheats it out. During the main phase, this card was sent to the graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, and then target one dual avatar monster in the graveyard, add it to your hand. I'm going to say that the dual avatar monsters have effects, if they're summoned from the deck. I think that's good. That one, the jury's out on that. You'll have to let me know if you guys play dual avatar, how good or bad that is. This is EMR, super rare, normal trap. Tribute 1 machine monster, then target 1 card on the field for every 1,000 original attack of the tribute monster. Destroy those cards. I mean, it is targeting, but if you have Yeah, I mean, if you have a 3,000 attack machine monster, you're popping 3 cards. That's pretty good. I think this is worth picking up for some reason. Especially with such a trap-heavy format we have. I think this has its place in the light for some reason. Oh, the new... Okay, so this is the new Eldish Fusion monster. This is an Eldish monster plus a level 5, so it's going to be, for the most part, the original Eldritch plus one of your traps. This card becomes Eldritch a Golden Lord while it's on the field. Very nice. You can still activate Conquistador and Hakero. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. It does have 3,800 attack. And the name is Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord. Very cool. You contribute 1 zombie monster, so one of the traps probably. Then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it. But it cannot attack or activate its effects this turn. Okay, so it doesn't last forever, and you don't give it back to your opponent. I like it. You can only use this effect of Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord once per turn. Very, very cherry. I'm all over this. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. So Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord, pretty darn dope. Let's see what the fusion. The important part is what the fusion spell will be called. So we'll have to see later down what that is, and I think it's in this set. I'm gonna guess it didn't come up before the fusion monster because this is the first target it's ever had. If this card is special summoned, this is called Fable and Wraith. It's a synchro, 2400 attack, 1900 defense, level 6 synchro. Okay, so I'm already thinking, what's it called here? Oh, it has to be a Fable too. Never mind. I was gonna say Virtual World might be interested in making this, but you know Konami. If this card is special summoned, your opponent can discard 1 card to negate this effect. Otherwise, you draw 2 cards, then discard 1 card. That's a pretty good effect. If a monster is sent from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters, special summon it from your field, but negate its effects. If a partner is sent from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, you can target one of those monsters, special summon to your field, but negate its effects. So I guess you can special summon a hand trap if they use it, but it doesn't negate the effects. Or no. So does it negate the hand trap? Yeah, I mean, if it's sent from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, except you could target it. Yeah, so wow, that's a good card. I like this. I don't know anything about the Fabled archetype, but anytime you can use hand traps against your opponent like that, or I don't know if it's it's got to be a combo based deck too, but okay, cool. Why not? This is another Fabled card. This is Fabled Marcosia. Fiend effect, level 4, 1700 attack, 0 defense. If this card is in your hand, you can discard up to 2 monsters except this card, but include another Fabled monster. Okay. And if you do special summon this card, if special summon this way, this card gains 200 attack for each monster discarded. If this card is discarded to the graveyard, add 1 Fabled spell or trap from your deck to your hand. I'm assuming that's the good effect. Or maybe all Fabled cards have graveyard effects. On face value, that does not sound worth it, but it could be. I'm much more interested in the Synchro monster than I am that's for sure. This is Fable Treason, so it's a normal trap card. Target 1 Fabled monster in your graveyard, and and 1 face-up card on the field, so it doesn't target the face-up card on the field. And if you do special summon that monster from your graveyard, if you do that, destroy the card on the field. Okay, so 1 Fable monster in your graveyard, 1 face-up card in the field, discard 1 card. So they must all have graveyard effects. Discarding must be like the thing to do in this deck. It sounds like Infernity almost. So it's a pseudo monster reborn that also does a little disruption. As long as those graveyard effects are good, then these are good cards, I guess. This is Fairy Archer in Gunnar. Alright. This is a level 6 plant, 2400 attack, 1200 defense. Decent enough stats for sure. Cannot attack the turn. This card is special summoned. It's okay, it has summoning sickness. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a plant monster, you can target 1 level 6 or higher plant monster in your graveyard. Special summon in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except plant monsters. I'm not going to give my opinion on this necessarily. I mean, that sounds okay, but you have to find a way to special summon itself. If plants have an easy way to do this, and you have a level 6 or higher in your graveyard, like maybe a fusion monster, cool. But it can't attack the turn it's special summon. It just doesn't need to have that stipulation on it. I don't think it's that overpowered. This is Giga Thunder Gyclops. Alright, it's a Pendulum level 4, scales 5, 1400 attack, 1700 defense. Pendulum effect. Once per turn, you can target one Pendulum monster you control, and when monster your opponent controls, change their battle positions. Alright, sure. I mean, that is definitely possible to come up. Monster effect. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, is used as synchro material, banish it. Alright. Oh, if this card from the special summon from the extra deck is used as synchro material, banish it. Alright. If this card is normal summon, you can change its battle position. You can only use each of the following effects of Giga Thunder Gyclops once per turn. If this battle position of this card is changed, you can target one face-up spell or trap on the field, destroy it. If this card is destroyed in the Pendulum Zone, you can return one card from your Pendulum Zone to the hand. Is Giga Thunder an archetype or something about changing? I kind of feel like there's an archetype that changes its battle position. It is used to synchro banish it. It has to be normal summon. It's unfortunate that the effect is only upon normal summon and not special summon. Are you going to use a normal summon just to destroy a face-up spell or trap? I'm going to say this is a part of archetype that all the effects activate upon changing. So that sounds pretty good, actually. For what it is, I should say. Not like objectively great card. This is Great Sandsea Golgonda. It's a field spell. Oh, okay, so we're getting to the Spriggan stuff a little bit here. All Spriggans XYZ monsters on the field gain 1000 attack. Okay, good, just baseline effect, I suppose. You can only use each of the following effects of of this card's name once per turn. If you control no Spriggans XYZ monsters, you can discard one Spriggans card, special summon one Spriggans XYZ from your extra deck. Whoa, okay. If a face-up XYZ monster you control leaves the field by card effect, except during the damage step, you can target one monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack for the rest of the turn. That's good. I think a lot of them attach from the graveyard, so you can like discard it, cheat it out, attach it. So you kind of have like this infinite resource loop going in a certain sense. Good field spell. I have not read the other Spriggan stuff, so I'll have to. The jury is still out on that one, but I like the start there for that archetype. This is Greater Polymerization. Never ends, huh? Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using 3 or more monsters from your hand or field. Okay. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. Yeah, I'd have to really go through, but not being able to destroy by card effects is good. Especially if you have one that can't be destroyed by battle, so it kind of completes the duo there. And if piercing battle damage, I don't think we're in the greatest format for that necessarily, but okay, I mean that's pretty cool. 3 or more, huh? Okay, sure. I know Rampage Dragon would definitely fill the requirements for that. Are you playing this in a Cyber Dragon deck? Because you can't. It's not like you can use it from the graveyard. You're going. It better be a good fusion monster. It's kind of the best way to look at it, right? This is Guitar Gernard's duo. I don't know. Whatever. I hope this is not the TCG name. That stinks. This is a water level 3 monster. I like the little card art here. 1500 attack, 700 defense. If this card is special summoned, you can banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to the number of water monsters you can control. You can target one level 4 or lower water monster you control. Increase its level by its original level. Okay. You can banish this card from your graveyard. One water monster on the field gains 100 attack for each currently banished monster until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect. It's not... Okay, that's good. It's not restrictive at all. I mean, what, are you going to own 2 water monsters at a time, I guess, in the most perfect scenario? Or you're playing Paleozoics and you just have a bunch on the field. I don't know. It's such an unexplored part of Yu-Gi-Oh! You're banishing some of their resources. I would imagine some decks don't want you to do that. But you just never know what you're going to banish. And the level of manipulation, I'm sure, is good for synchro summoning. So... Okay, guitar Gerdads. Yeah. That name is just funny to me, but it's okay. This is Linear Equation Canon. It's a normal trap card. During the battle phase, declare a whole number from a whole number. Let's go. I don't think I've ever seen that on card text before. A whole number from 1 to 6. Choose one effect monster your opponent controls. Multiply the effect monster's level times the declared number. Then add the number of cards your opponent controls. And check if the result equals the number of cards in your graveyard. Excuse me? This is going to get played at tournaments just to annoy and confuse people. If yes, send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the number of declared number, and if you do, shuffle cards your opponent controls into the deck equal to the number sent to the graveyard. Whoa. Okay, a whole number from 1 to 6. Alright, choose one effect monster your opponent controls. I mean, you want to talk about situational? Good lord. I mean, when would you use this? This is almost worth getting just for, like, the lulz or something. Talk about level manipulation. Jeez Louise. That's one of the funniest cards I think I've ever read in my entire life. Alright. This game never ceases to entertain me, that's for sure. Looks like I may have missed a couple here, so... Heavenly Zephyr Miradora. This is a Wind Dragon level 7. So you can add this card, I suppose, with that Armed Dragon card, right? Because it's at any level 5 or higher Wind Dragon monster. The activation and effect of this card's effects cannot be negated. Well, off to a good start there. If your opponent special summons a monster with 2,000 or more attack from the extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can target one face-up opponent monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. Neither player can activate that monster's effects while this monster is face-up on the field. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can target one face-up monster that was special from the extra deck. You can only activate... So it's if they do get rid of it, they can activate the effects again, but still... I think this card's going to have its time... Like, I think now is decent enough with VFD and Zeus rolling around, so you can negate that effect, and it cannot be negated, so they can't... I don't think they can respond to it, because it's a pawn special summon, and they can't negate... Yeah, I think Zeus does put that... It doesn't, because Zeus doesn't negate, it just sends it to the graveyard. See, I'm not sure this is the format for it, but it seems like a card that you definitely would want to stash away at some point, just to, have in the future. Yeah, that's kind of just my final opinion on it. There's not much to say about it, but yeah, it could be good, it could be bad. This is the new Heavy Metal Foes Link monster that Konami made, so he doesn't, it's a company, so they don't have to unban Electromite. We'll see how good it is. I know they have effects when they get destroyed, right? So that's why Heavy Metal Foes did that. I'm not sure they ever knew what would come out of it. No, I don't want this card. I just looked at it. I want the heavy metal foes. Give me 1 second here. Heavy metal foes. Here we go. It's a common, so I guess if you really do like this card, I think it's a throwaway. They're just like, well, look, we know we banned, we unbanned Rusty Bardige. We got you guys' hopes up, but don't think about it too much, you know. I think that's kind of the message you're trying to send to us. If this will ever load. Jeez. Other cards in this set that I know of, I mean, the Pot of Prosperity card's coming out. There's a new S-Force archetype. Here we go. Left and right. Not off the mooey hot start, but 2 Metal Foes monsters. If this card they really made it more restrictive. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by card effect, you could activate one of its effects. Okay. Interesting. So I guess if you use it to link up, target 1 Metal Foes monster you control, equip it to this card, it gains 1,000 attack. Terrible. Target 1 Metal Foes monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card. You can only activate this effect of Heavy Metal Foes Amalgam once per turn. So I guess the idea is you're linking this off, destroying one of your Metal Foes cards that has an effect upon destruction, special summoning this card. So that way the left and right arrows become relevant for pendulum summoning. Now I see the vision. Okay, I mean, I'm sure that's fine. And the fact that, you know, we don't have Electromite, so if you're a Heavy Metal Foes player, I guess that's just an option that you're going to go for. Alright, we're moving right along here. And I think Icy Breeze Refrain is a normal trap. Let's see what this is all about. And I think we're all caught up in card effects and stuff. This Pot of Prosperity card is a secret rare, so it's very sad. Honestly, a lot of people are going to buy this set just for this card. Even though I don't even think it has necessarily like the biggest or the most defined home. Yeah. Like I said, this is Icy Breeze Refrain, Noble Trap. Target 1 Wind Witch monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. When your opponent activates a card or effect in response to your Wind Witch monster, negate the activation. Okay. Negate the opponent's effect. So it can be against anything too. It doesn't even have to be a monster effect. Good card. That's definitely something you're going to run in Wind Witches. So I'll try to go a little quicker through these, but we have a little bit to go. Nothing too crazy, but like I said, this is a long podcast, so it's something you can come back to and revisit. That's kind of the whole point of this card, and then I'll make supplement content about this as well, like the most important cards for me from the set, all that kind of stuff. And we looked at Knight of okay, so Knight of Armor Dragon is not an old card. For some reason I thought it may have been, but that's going to be used in your Armed Dragon deck, I'm assuming. And we looked at that, so this was the linear equation, excuse me. So okay, we're all caught up now. We can keep moving on. So this is a new Evil Twin monster. If you control a Evil Twin monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Free special summon, always nice. You can only special summon this card's name like that once per turn. When either player takes damage from battle involving an Evil Twin monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses attack equal to the battle damage. Okay. When either player takes damage from a battle... Oh, weird. Okay, I mean, that's okay. I mean, you're using it for the free special summon effect. It's just the actual effect for the card is a little underwhelming, so yeah. I don't think they have too many main deck monsters, so you may kind of be forced to use it for consistency. I'm not sure. But I think helping you link summon up to, I think, is more important than that effect. It's just kind of an added bonus, I suppose. This is Machina Uncollapsed Bar. Level 4 machine, 1800 attack, 800 defense. If this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except machine monsters. If this card is normal special summon, you can send one Machina monster from your deck to your graveyard. Okay, except it's a copy of itself. I think that's really good, objectively speaking. It's not a brick in the hand because you can normal summon it too. And there's got to be a good reason to send it to the graveyard, like it. Good job, Konami. Good card design. You'll love to see it. This is Maho Vilo, Light of the Heavens. Really interesting card art here. Whoa, there's a lot of effects. Interesting. This is a light monster spellcast. Yeah, of course it's a monster. Spellcaster effect at level 8. 1,550 attack, 1,400 defense. Some weird stats there. Okay, this card gains the following effects based on the number of equip cards equipped to it. Here we go. One, it gains 1,000 attacks, so it goes up to 2,500. Nice. 2 will go up to 3,000 attack, which is cool too. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects during the battle phase. Pretty useless. 3 equip cards. When your opponent card or effect is activated that targets this card, quick effect, you can send 1 equip card you control to the graveyard, negate the activation. Again, pretty blasé. Number 4 equip cards. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during the battle phase. Again, not that good. Any battle damage this card inflicts to your opponent is doubled, so yeah, it's gonna inflict 10,000 attack potentially. That card's terrible. It just doesn't do enough for how much investment you're gonna be putting into it, right? I think I just did that one. Here we go. This is a rank 3 XYZ. Okay. So, Virtual World, here you go. Meteor Actress Gigaboros. 500 attack, 500 defense. Gains 500 attack and defense for each card in your hand. It's an XYZ Slifer. Like a baby Slifer or something. You can only use each of the following effects of this card's name once per turn. You can attach 1 material from this card. Attach 1 Meteoractor monster from your deck to this card. So I wonder if the cool thing would be if the main deck monsters have like effects that help XYZ monsters when it's equipped. Really cool. Okay. During your opponent's main or battle phase, you can add 1 card attached to this card to the hand. Okay, so if you have 5 cards in your hand, I mean, it's not the best thing in the world, but I think it's essentially a search card within its own archetype. Because I mean, I'm assuming the monsters have effects. This is not a vanilla monster deck, so cool. I like it. It's definitely one I think I would stash away. It's an interesting effect nonetheless. Especially if it's super ultra cheap, you know. Okay, here we go. And looks like we're on to Meteoractor. I wonder if this is a new archetype. Could be. So it's a rank 3. So obviously I think they're all going to be. You can discard 1 card, special summon 1 level 3. No, isn't a normal monster attack. Okay. Just kidding. I just lied to all of you. I got served immediately. You can discard 1 card, special summon 1 level 3 normal monster from your hand or deck. If you discarded a normal monster to activate this effect, you can special summon 1 Meteoractor monster instead. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except XYZ monsters. So it's a little restrictive. I'm not even sure why, but we'll see what the other Meteoractor cards are, if any. And not exactly sure. So this is a new Metal Foes card, it looks like. Metal Foes Banisher. Level 9. Wow. Scale 1, which is always nice. Fire. Pendulum effect. If a monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, you can add 1 Metal Foes card from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effect in Metal Foes once per turn. So, very good, because that monster, you can destroy your own card effect. That's going to trigger that effect, and then it's going to trigger this effect. Monster effect. You can target 2 face-up cards you control, including Metal Foes cards, destroy them. Again, that's good. If you do special summon this card from your hand. Wow, okay. Very nice. This card is special summoned by the effect of a Metal Foes card. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard. Banish it. Really good card. I like it a lot. There's a lot of versatility in there. And it helps also just move your engine along by destroying your own cards. This looks like a Dream Mirror card. This is Nyroi, the Dream Mirror disciple. If a Dream Mirror monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. Always nice to have a free special summon. Then it can make this card's attack. Then this card can become dark. Okay, don't know how that's relevant. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, activate this effect. Or if Dream Mirror Joy is on the field, you can turn one spell trap your opponent controls from the hand. Also after that, if Dream Mirror of Terror is on the field, draw one card, then shuffle one card from your hand to the deck. Again, I mean, I just don't know enough about Dream Mirrors to know if that's good or not, but it seems okay. Ojama Pink, I think this card's decent enough. If this card is sent from the hand or filled to the graveyard, you activate this effect. Each player draws one card. Then each player discards one card. Then if you discard an Ojama card, you can choose one opponent's unused monster zone. It cannot be used until the end of your opponent's turn. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good for your engine and Ojamas. Good. Always nice to have Ojama cards around. Oh, a new Dream Mirror Fusion monster. Again, the artwork in this set is kind of fire. This is a level 10 Fusion Fiend effect monster. 2 Dream Mirror monsters with different attributes. I guess that's why that card makes a little more sense now. Why it's like that. While face up on the field, this is also a light attribute. So, obviously, Dream Mirrors care about the attribute a lot. You can only use each of the following effects with this card's name once per turn. When a monster effect is activated while Dream Mirror of Terror is on the field, you can negate that activation. Very nice. It is monster, it's not an omni negate, but still, monsters are very important. If Dream Mirror Joy is on the field, you can tribute this card, special summon one Dream Mirror Urkling from your extra deck. So what does this card do real quick? If a monster you control is tributed, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. If this card is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can special summon one Dream Mirror monster. So nothing great, but at least it replaces itself in emergency. So there you go. Dream Mirrors for the win, right? And it looks like it's even easier now to activate these cards, like with the trap card and stuff like that, if it's in your graveyard. Basically allowing you to get whatever one you want at whatever time you want. So not bad. Not great, but not bad. This is a super rare, so Pendulum. Is this it's a Fusion Pendulum card. Okay, it's Metal Foes. Yeah, Parametal Foes. Wow, okay, level 7. You know, I like to see it. I know most people hate pendulums, but I don't mind. I think it's cool. I like the card art. If a face-up Metal Foes card you control is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can target one face-up card in the field, destroy it. Again, good pendulum effect. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can target one card your opponent controls, shuffle 2 face-up pendulum monsters from your extra deck into the deck, and if you do, destroy that card. Very nice. It is targeting, but it doesn't have to be monsters. And if it's destroyed, you can send it to the Pendulum Zone. It's a scale 8 too. Good Metal Foes support. I'd be curious to kind of look into it and see if it's actually all that in a bag of chips. Here we go. We're keeping on here. This is a new Metal Foes Fusion card. Fusion summon one Metal Foes Fusion monster from your extra deck using up to one monster each from your hand, field, and or face-up extra deck as fusion material. I wonder if there's ever been a fusion card that uses cards face-up extra deck. I'm not sure, but I would imagine that's pretty darn good. This is another Parametal Foes Melcaster. Level 7, scale 1. Again, very good. 2,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Once per turn, you can target one other face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, set one Metal Foes spell or trap directly from your deck. Wow, that's awesome. You can target one of the other pendulum scales that has an effect. That triggers, and then you get a Metal Foes spell or trap. Cool. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add up to one face-up Metal Foes pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, except it's a copy of itself. But you cannot activate it or cards with its name to place in the pendulum zones for the rest of the turn. Except by card effect. Okay. You can only use this effect once per turn. So that's, again, I like all the new Metal Foes support. I don't think I've read a card that's bad, which is a good thing. This is Pendulum Encore. It's a normal trap. During your opponent's main phase, you can discard one card. Immediately after this card resolves, Pendulum summon a Pendulum monster. Also for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, cards in your Pendulum zones Cannot activate their effects and cannot be destroyed by your card effects. Also, shuffle them into the deck during the end phase. Pen summoning during your opponent's turn, huh? I don't know if that's good, but for some reason that's a card I just feel like you should have stashed away. You just never know with Pendulum cards. If Pendulum summoning during your opponent's turn can be really good. And here it is. I didn't know when this card would be coming out, but they wasted no time. Pot of Prosperity. If you guys don't know, normal spell. Banish 3 or 6 cards of your choice from your extra deck face down for the rest of the turn after this card resolves. Any damage your opponent takes is halved. Also, activate cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards banished. Add 1 card from your deck to your hand. Add 1 of those cards to your hand, and place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. You can only activate 1 Pot of Prosperity per turn. You cannot draw cards by card effects the turn you activate this card. Unbelievable. This is going to be a $100 card, like I thought it would be, which is unfortunate because I wanted to build out that Egyptian God deck. And this card is an absolute necessity in it. Maybe they won't short print it, right? LOL, just kidding. Of course, we all know that this is going to be the most sought after card in the set. What are you going to do? Really good card. This is Psychic Eraser Laser, normal spell. You can send 1 monster your opponent controls that was special summon from the extra deck to the graveyard. Then your opponent gains life points equal to the original attack of that monster, whichever is higher. Definitely a card to have. Yeah, it's send. It doesn't destroy. Doesn't target. It's good removal. I mean, only if it was a quick play spell, right? Oh, that'd be ridiculous. No, that's a great card. So that's definitely added to the mental list of decent cards in this set. Looks like we have here Radiant Virescence. This is a level 4 dragon effect. 1600 attack, 800 defense. When this card is normal summon, while your opponent controls a monster, you can discard 1 card. Send any number of this card's name from your deck to the graveyard. Once per turn, if this card is in your graveyard, this card in your graveyard you can make this card in the graveyard become dark until the end of the turn. I don't know. I just don't know. That's what I'm going to say about that card. I don't know why you would want to do that, but okay. Is it like chaos support? Is that what it's supposed to be? Alright, we'll just ignore that and assume it just never existed. This is a Ritual Wind Monster. Alright, Raging Storm Dragon, Beaufort the 9th. Alright. 2800 attack, 2800 defense. You can ritual summon this card with Breath of Acclamation. When your opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can discard this card and negate the attack, and if you do, negate that monster's effects. Quick effect. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Return both that monster and this card to the hand. That's good, but it must be... What does Breath of Acclamation do? Oh, this is the one. Okay, this is what we read earlier. And what level is this? It's a level 9. It has to be exact. Not vibing with that at all. Not even a little bit. Get that out of my face. Oh, Reinforcement of the Army Troops. Wow, a new like Reinforcement of the Army card. Must be pretty good, right? That's a continuous spell card. When attack is declared involving your warrior monster, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower warrior monster from your hand. Garbage. Absolute garbage. How dare they take the name of such an iconic card and make such a bad one. Here we go. We're getting into the S-Force cards now. Very nice. S-Force Bridgehead. When this card is activated, this is the field spell because Konami loves field spells. When when it's activated, you can add 1 S-Force monster from your deck to your hand. Very nice. Omni Searcher for monsters. Fantastic. When an opponent's monster declares an attack on your S-Force monster in the same column, you can activate this effect. That monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle. You can only use this effect of S-Force Bridgehead once per turn. Cool. I mean, the important part is the search, but hey. So I know this. The only thing I know about this archetype is that it is a what's it called? Like a column-based archetype, like Mech Knights. This is S-Force Graventino, level 5, 2000 attack, 1400 defense. Each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters is banished when it leaves the field. So honestly, I think the idea is that you put this in the extra monster zone, right, to get the most value out of it. Cool. If this card is normal or special summon, normal summon is hard. It's level 5. You can add one S-Force card from your deck to your hand except a copy of itself. And I'm assuming that means spells or trap. Cool. That's a good card. Yeah, and I don't know if this archetype is good or bad, so I'm really just reading this as we go along here. This is a Link monster. Oh wow, Link 3. Hopefully they have lower ones. You cannot special summon set monsters to zone this card's points to. Wow, okay, this is because it's pointing up if you guys are, just listening to this in your car. So the link arrows are top left, top and top right. You cannot summon set monsters as zone this card points to. So you're restricting your opponent to be in these two columns, which is the idea of the archetype. I just don't know how easy it is to get a Link 3 out. That's so weird. You can target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Then you can move that opponent's monster to their monster zone this card points to. Whoa. This is wild. You can only use this effect of S-Force Justify once per turn. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can banish all monsters this card points to. Man, that's... I feel like I'm overhyping this, but I like it. You can... Maybe your opponent can. But when it says you cannot normal summon or set monsters, it just sounds like it means Omni, so it must not be. I must be reading that wrong. But still, very good. It kind of forces your opponent to, be in certain places that they don't want to. This is S-Force Orpis, level 4. Okay, there we go. I was worried that all of them would be high level. 1800 attack, 1000 defense. This reminds me of that one archetype. I can't think of the name now. Magical Musketeers. But anyways, your opponent cannot target any of their monsters in the same column. Any of their monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters with card effects. Pretty niche effect. When a monster your opponent controls activates its effect, quick effect, you can banish one S-Force card from your hand, destroy that monster. Doesn't destroy. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one, so hopefully it's not a necessity to have that in your deck. We'll see, though. This is S-Force Platina. This is a level 6 spellcaster, 2200 attack, 2000 defense. Each of your opponent's monster in the same column as one of your S-Force monster loses 600 attack. Not very good. If this card is normal special summon, you can target one of your banished S-Force monsters, except at a copy of itself, special summon it. I don't know how much you're banishing your S-Force monsters, so the jury's out on that. Again, doesn't sound like a great one, though. Unless I just read one that did, but this is S-Force Professor Die Gamma. This is a Psychic level 3, 1000 attack, 1500 defense. Each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters cannot change its battle position. Not good. If this card is normal special summon, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change its battle position. Stinks. Next, not impressed so far. Certainly not. Plantina. Did I just read that one? I just read that one, so Die Game I just read. Excuse me. Here we go. This is one of the secret rares. This is a level 2 warrior effect, 800 attack, 1000 defense. Rappa Chiyomaru. Each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters can only target that monster for attacks. Yeah, okay, interesting. And they can't be destroyed, right? With the field spell, which I guess is the idea. Quick effect. You can banish one S-Force card from your hand, return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one S-Force monster from your deck in defense position. That's why it's a secret rare. It's the best card so far. So there is banishing, so that other card I think is good. And I think I already read one like right before that too. That proved that as well. Okay, this is S-Force Shutdown. It's a quick play spell. Activate one of these following effects. Special summon one S-Force monster from your hand in defense position. Very nice. Target one S-Force monster in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. So all of these are good. It's a 3 of, so because a lot of them are high level monsters, and you obviously just want to have multiple on the field at a time. Very, very cool. Here we go. And S-Force Showdown. This is a... Oh, nope. I just did that one. Doodly diggly. Sorry about that. Moving along. There we go. This is the S-Force Specimen. It's a normal trap card. If your opponent controls a monster, target one of your S-Force monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Special summon it to your field in the same column as an opponent's monsters. Alright, so that's where the manipulation of columns come from. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one S-Force monster you control, and move that target to another. So you can do it twice, basically, which is cool. So I'm going to guess that's a 3 of. But again, a lot of these S-Force cards, in my opinion, are a little underwhelming so far. It's like, why would you not play Mech Knights? Is kind of the main idea behind this, or did he play both of them together? Is there an S-Force Mech Knight archetype that you gotta play? Probably not, I'm gonna say. So I think that does it for the S-Force cards, yeah. So moving on, we have a Xyz Monster. It's a rank 9, a little random plant. During your turn, you can activate a card, or when you activate a card or effect, quick effect, you can target one card of the same type, monster, spell, or trap in your graveyard attached to this card as material. During your opponent's turn, when a card or effect is activated, you can detach one material of the same type, monster, spell, or trap from this card, and if you do negate the activation, if you do that, destroy that card. You can only use each effect of Sacred Tree Beast of this card's name once per turn. 2600 attack. I think you can also rank up this one using a different plant monster, because I don't know how easy it is to summon rank 9s. I would imagine not easy, and you also have to have those cards in the graveyard. It's so close to being an Omni-Negate, but it's not really. So yeah, I mean, take that for what it is, I suppose. This is, oh, here we go. 7 Realms of the Golden Lord. How many of these can be searched? I don't know. Golden Land, Spell, or Trap. I want to say at least one card does. So it is searchable, but I'm not sure by which of the Eldish cards. But during the main phase, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using Zombie Monster for hand or field as fusion material. So you can use like your face down Hecaros and Conquistadors and stuff. If a zombie monster is special summoned by a card effect, you can target one set card on the spell and trap zone. It cannot be activated this turn. Very nice. It's good. It's continuous. Wow. So you can fusion summon technically every single turn, right? I like it. I like it a lot, for sure. I think people are going to play it. I mean, I like the Golden Lord fusion card. It was good. We'll see how much play it finds itself, though. Are you going to use that to search over Hakero? Probably. I mean, at least in some situations. This is a fusion monster. It's a Dark Machine, level 8. 1 Fallen of Albaz plus 1 effect monster special summon this turn. Isn't this the... No, okay, I was going to say. For some reason, I thought it had the same name as the Dogmatica card. I was like, that doesn't even make sense. During your main phase, you can move this card you control to another of your main monster zones. Then you can destroy all other face-up cards in this card's column. A lot of column manipulation. Very interesting. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add this card to your hand. Okay, I guess by add it to your hand, just mean go back to the extra deck. Or special summon 1 Spriggans Monster or 1 Fallen of Albaz from your deck. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. It is face-up cards, which is unfortunate because you can't. Most of the time, you're not gonna be able to destroy spells and traps, but it's It's a decent enough card, and I'm assuming in the Fallen of Albaz archetype, it's also like good support. Okay, so now here it is, the Spriggans card. We're coming here at the end, going over one more new archetype, if I'm not mistaken. And here we go. Spriggans Blast, normal trap. If you control a Spriggans monster, choose one opponent's main monster zone. If a monster is face up in that zone, oh wow, look at the card art on that, by the way. It's a, for you guys who aren't seeing this, it's like a spaceship with explosions, and it looks like the fabric of reality is falling apart. But if a monster is in that face up zone during this turn, it cannot attack directly. Also, its effects are negated. If no monster is in that zone, it cannot be used this turn. At least there's like a secondary effect. Yeah, it's a main monster zone. Wouldn't it be cool if you could target the extra monster zone? If you control a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as material, you can choose 2 zones instead. Very cool. That's a good card. I like it. I'm all about it. Especially now that traps are being used in the meta. So it may not have its time once we get to a faster format, but for now it's good. This is Spriggans Baranga. If this card is in, this is a level 8 machine, 500 attack, 2500 defense. This card is in your hand, field, or graveyard. You can target one Spriggans XYZ monster you control attached to this card. So yeah, that's what I thought. So the field spell, you discard this, special summon one of the XYZ monsters, and then you would attach this. You can banish this card and one Spriggans monster with a different name from your graveyard. Add one Spriggans card from your deck to your hand. Very good card. So it's all, I guess it's all based around the field spells, probably going to be the main idea of the archetype, which is okay. This is a normal trap called Spriggan's Call. Target one Spriggans monster or one Fallen of Albaz in your graveyard, special summon it. Alright, it's called by the grave, I guess. During the main phase, except the turn this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card and one fusion monster from your graveyard, then target one Spriggans XYZ monster you control. Attach one fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as material from your extra deck to that card as material. It's a little slow, to be honest with you. I'm not sure about that one. If you could use both the effects in one turn, we're talking about a good card. And I don't really know what effects it has when it's attached, so it'd have to be something really good. So I guess we'll find out as we go down the list of Spriggans cards here, keeping that in mind. I think, did I just go over this one? Let's see. Spriggan's Call. Yeah, here we go. This is Spriggan's Captain Sargus. This is a level 8 machine, 1500 attack, 2800 defense. If this card is in your hand, field, or graveyard, you can target one Spriggans XYZ monster control attached to the material. I'm assuming all of them have that. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can attach one material from an XYZ monster you control, then target one face-up card on the field, destroy it. You can only use each of the previous effects of this card's name once per turn. A Spriggans XYZ that has this card's material gains this effect. It gains 500 attack. I don't know how easy it is to normally summon these things. That one, it does not speak to me on a spiritual level. That's all I can say about that one, so don't like it too much. This is Spriggans Pedor. This is a machine level 4, 2000 defense, 0 attack. You contribute this card, then target one Spriggans monster in your graveyard, except itself, special summon it. If this card is in your hand, field, or graveyard, you can target one Spriggans XYZ, attach it. You can only, say it doesn't even have an effect. But obviously the XYZ material, or the XYZ monster itself is going to have an effect, so it's not super important that they all have good effects. I mean, that doesn't have an effect at all. And I guess that's one way to cheat out all the machine monsters that you're putting in the graveyard, because you're not, a lot of this time you're not normal summoning, so you're cheating out these extra deck monsters. Is discarding a card to destroy one card really like that good though? Still, like going back to that last one that I just talked about. This is a level 4 machine, 1800 attack, 800 defense. If this card is normal or special summon, you could target one Grand Sea Gold, Golgonda, or one Spriggans monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. If this card is in your hand, field, or graveyard, you can target attach to the material. So this again doesn't have an effect. We'll see what the effect of the XYZ monsters, but this helps add cards back to your hand, I suppose, which is nice. And they're all flexible. You can attach it from the hand, field, or graveyard. So good. I mean, they've definitely thought through a little bit of this. Thanks, Konami. Here we go. Now we're getting to the XYZ Monsters Machine. Rank 8, 1600 attack, 2500 defense. You can choose one of your opponent's monsters or spell and trap zones to detach any number of materials from this card. And if you do, destroy that same number of cards your opponent controls in that chosen zone and its adjacent monster and or spell zones. It's like a tank. During your opponent's main or battle phase, you can banish this card until the end phase. You can only use each of the following effects. So I guess if they like have a card that removes it, you can just remove it from play yourself, kind of like Time Thief, I think. But destroy the same number of cards your opponent controls and its adjacent monster zones. So you can choose one. I don't really understand. So, like, how do you choose what adjacent... Like, if you only detach one... I'm going to read this one more time. I'm not smart enough for this game. You can choose one of your opponent's monster zones or spell and trap zones. Detach any number of materials from this card. And if you do, destroy the same number of cards your opponent controls in that. So, if you just... I guess, like... So, it creates a grid. So, you put it under the main monster zone. You attach 2 cards. I guess you can choose that monster zone plus either the spell and trap below it or the extra monster zone. It's kind of unfortunate. Although I guess you can just keep attaching a bunch of them from the graveyard. You can keep doing it every turn. So pretty cool. It's kind of like a swarming archetype. I almost feel like it should have been an insect archetype instead of machine. That's kind of how I feel about it. And there's nothing you can do about it. Here we go. This is a Spriggan's Watch, normal spell. You can add 1 gold gondola from your deck to your hand. If Great Sea, the gold gondola is in your field zone. Okay, so that's the field spell. You can apply this effect instead. Add 1 Spriggans Monster from your deck to your hand. If you do, send 1 Spriggans Monster from your deck to the graveyard. Wow, what a great card, because all of them had graveyard effects, you know, or to attach themselves. Really, really good. Spriggans, I'm curious to know what rarity that is. Super rare. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a common, that's for sure. Cool. That's a great card. This is... I think we just got done with the Spriggans card. So this is Stairway to a Fabled Realm. It's a field spell. When this card is activated, you can send 1 Fabled Monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can target 1 Fabled Monster in your graveyard, discard 2 cards. Alright, so yeah, obviously. It is for sure now that Fabled cards need to be in the graveyard. You can target 1 Fabled Monster to your graveyard, discard 2 cards, and then you can add that monster to your hand. You can only use this effect of Stairway of Fabled Realm once per turn. If your Fabled Monster attacks your opponent's monster and you have less cards in your hand than your opponent, your monster gains attack equal to the difference in the number of cards times 200. Okay, during damage calculation only. I'm assuming that's good. I don't know when the last time Fable got support or how old the archetype is, but God bless them. Here we go. This is Steel Star Regulator. This is a Link 3, and its materials are 3 non-Link monsters. Top left, bottom right. Gains attack to the combined original levels ranks of monsters used for its Link rating times 100. Okay. You can target 1 non-Link monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to this card. Destroy it. Then if this card was Link summoned using XYZ Monsters material, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half of the destroyed monster's original attack. It is targeting. I don't know. This is such a random card. This just feels like another like Nightmare Cerberus, but different. Would you really sacrifice 3 monsters to do that, though? I don't think you would. I really don't. But cool little card nonetheless. This is Synchro Transmission. This is a normal trap. During the main phase, immediately after this card resolves, Synchro Summon 1 Synchro Monster using monsters you control as material. During your main phase, except the turn this was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Then target 1 Synchro Monster in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, then draw 1 card. Synchro Summoning during your opponent's turn, huh? Well, if you want to do that, there you go. I don't know why you would want to wait, but I'm sure there's at least a couple of cases where that's good. Here's a Fabled card. If this card is in your graveyard, you can discard one Fabled monster, and if you do, special from this card, banish it when it leaves the field. Sure. There's so much Fabled support just sprinkled in here, and I don't know if any of it's good. This is Tilted Try, another field spell. When you draw for your normal draw in your draw phase, you can reveal one of those cards, place it at the bottom of the deck, and if you do, draw one card. When you draw by a card effect, you can reveal one of those cards, send this card to the graveyard, and if you do, place that card on the bottom of the deck. And if you do that, draw one card. So this is not going to go into effect until your next turn. You can't activate this turn 0 or even turn 1 and enjoy the fruits of its benefits or the fruits of its labor. Yeah, you're not going to use that. It's too slow. Back in the day, great card, I'm sure. Weird. This is a new Tri-Brigade card, Tri-Brigade kit. You can banish any number. Yep, all of them have the effect that you can banish the Wing Beast, Beast Warrior, Beast, and then link summon using it from the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send one Tri-Brigade card from your deck to the graveyard. I'm sure that's really good. I think one of them searches when it gets sent to the graveyard, so cool for Tri-Brigade. This is another Tri-Brigade card. It's a quick play spell this time. Target any number of linked Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monster control. They gain 700 attack to the end of this turn. Terrible. If a linked Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monster you control would be destroyed by a battle card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Next, Garbanzo. Worst card I've ever seen in my life. Just kidding, but no, I don't think you're going to be playing that anytime soon. Looks like we have here a Fiend Fusion Effect monster whose materials are 1 Synchro, 1 XYZ, and 1 Link monster. Okay, once this card is fusion summoned, so this is definitely a new is that what they call new polymerization or something like that? That fusion card that I read earlier. Since it's 3 materials, when this card is fusion summoned, while this fusion summon card is face up on the field, you can pay life points in multiples of 2,000 and apply one of the following effects for every 2,000 life points paid. You can play each effect once. So 2,000, add 1 spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand. 4,000, destroy 3 cards your opponent controls. And then 6,000, this turn this card gains attack equal to half of the difference between your life points and your opponent's. Also, your other monsters cannot attack. So it has a base 3,000 attack. And you're probably going to have... This is a decent card, but... Destroy 3 cards. How easy is it to get 1 Synchro, 1 XYZ, and 1 Link monster? And is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know why they made this card just to be weird. It's the strangest card I've ever read in my life. It's an ultra rare. And then Trishula, I'm not going to go over that, but it's getting a Starlight printing. Really nice. This is the other secret rare. So this is called Underdog. Continuous Trap. During your turn, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls. And during your opponent's turn, negate the effects of all face-up monsters you control. I mean, not that it's okay. I don't think it's worthy of a secret rare in my opinion, but what are you gonna do? This is Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. It's a Link 5. And this is the card that everyone wants to use with IP Masquerade because it can use one of its 4+ effect monsters, but it can use 1 monster your opponent controls. So during your turn, you can link summon using their card. And if you use, obviously, IP, it can't be destroyed by card effects too. 3,000 attack, Link monster. Pretty rare, I think. If this card is Link Summon, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. This Link Summon card is unaffected by your opponent's card effects unless they target this card. But if you use IP, at least it would have protection from targeting. Or from destruction, maybe but they could negate the effects, I suppose, with targeting. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster from the graveyard, you can negate the activation. That's a little niche, but still, I mean, you're using the effect because you get to use one of your opponent's monsters, and it negates all the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls. So that'll be a very sought-out card as well. A lot of good cards in this for sure. This is a new Virtual World Continuous Trap. During the battle phase, if you control another Virtual World Gate card, you can target one face-up monster on the field, change its battle position. Not that good. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one virtual monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. Then send one card from your hand to the graveyard. That's really good. In case Virtual World needed a lot more support, because of course it does, there you go. I was going to say that's another Virtual World card. This is an effect monster. This is Virtual World Otohime Tutu. It's a worm, level 6, 1200 attack, 1800 defense. If you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are psychic and or worm monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing. Alright, if this card is in your graveyard, you can discard one psychic or worm monster, special summon this card as a tuner, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also for the rest of the turn, you can only special summon rank 3. Another just good card for Virtual World. Yay! Awesome. I'm just kidding, it just started, so I really don't care. And ultimately I don't care anyways, but it's a good card. And plus once VFT gets banned, we'll see how it responds. This is Warrock Bashlios. Cool. Earth, level 8, 2700 attack, 2700 defense. During a battle phase in which your Earth Warrior monster battles, I guess this, you can activate this effect. This card can attack directly this turn. Also, all Warrock monsters you control gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. While this card is in your hand or graveyard, when your Earth Warrior monster is controlled by battle, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. I don't know if Warrock is an archetype, but if it is, cool. Attack with 2700 attack. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Oh, this is a new archetype, so we're rounding it out here with Warrocks, or at least a little bit of new support, and it's getting all these are taking up like ultra, super rare, secret rare spots, so holy moly. Alright, this is Warrock Fortia. If your Earth Warrior monster battles after damage calculation, you can add one Warrock card from your deck to your hand except Warrock Fortia. Then all Warrock monsters you control gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. If this card is sent from your monster zone to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one level 5 or higher Warrock monster from your hand or deck. And it is card effect, but at least it's just kind of like your opponent has to play around it on some level. But you can trigger like the battling part. So this seems like a going second archetype in my opinion. Very interesting indeed. We'll keep going with the Warrock archetype, I suppose. If an Earth Warrior monster is normal summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. Again, another like Kagetori card. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon one level 5 or higher Warrock monster from your hand or deck. I really do just wish it was like Battle or card effect, because your opponent's not going to send it to the graveyard by that, so you're depending on it a lot. That card was a free special summon, so that's cool and all. I'm not vibing too hard, and it kind of stinks that it takes up all of these slots, but here is the field spell. It's a secret rare. If this card is activated, you can add a Warrock monster from your deck to your hand. All field spells just do that now, which is good, I guess. At the start of the battle phase, if you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are warrior monsters, you can special summon one Warrock monster from your hand with a different name than the cards you control. If your warrior monster would be destroyed by battle, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. Decent, but disappointing that it's a secret rare, being that there are a lot of other good cards in this set that could have taken that slot. This is Rock Ordeal. It's a continuous spell. You can only control one of this card. Cool. Who cares? When this card is activated, place 3 counters on it. When your Warrock monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can remove 1 counter from this card, and if you do, draw 1 card. If the last counter has been removed from this card, send this card to the graveyard. Oh, weird. It's so weird. Like, why would you not just play Upstart Goblin? Doesn't it feel that way? Although, I guess it's not once per turn, is it? Let me go back and read that, actually. It's not. So you could potentially draw 3 times. Never mind. That's a decent card. I don't know if you'd run that at 3, but it's definitely worth looking at, I suppose. This is Rock Orpis. That's a really weird card art. This is an Earth Warrior, level 5, 2100 attack, 2100 defense. If you control the monsters or a monster control warrior, you can normal summon this card without tributing. It's not a free special summon, but okay. That's weird. If your Earth Warrior monster battles after damage calculation, you can send 1 Earth Warrior monster from your deck to your graveyard. Then all war monster you currently control gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. I don't think that one's good because it doesn't special summon itself. So yeah, that's definitely one of the common cards I just do not want to get from this set. That's my final opinion on that. This is Rock Schuyler. This is an Earth Warrior, level 6, 2200 attack, 2200 defense. Gains 100 attack for each monster your opponent controls. Alright. During a battle phase in which your Earth Warrior monster battles, quick effect. You can target 1 level 5 or lower warrior monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also, all Rock monsters you currently control gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot attack directly with level 5 or lower monsters. Sure. I mean, this archetype doesn't do anything. It's a battle archetype. I don't really know why we should care about that. So it looks like we're done with that. This is the white baking, the zombie level 1, 300 attack, 200 defense. But this is really good for Skull Servants. And it becomes Skull Servant while it's in the graveyard. If a level 3 or lower zombie monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can discard this card instead. Very cool. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 2 monsters with different names from your deck to your hand except this card's name that are either Skull Servant or specifically list Skull Servant in their text. So definitely a massive card for the archetype. Really good. So if you like Skull Servants, then that's the card you're going to have to pick up. And it's a good thing it's a super rare. Honestly, it probably should have been one of the secret rare slots in my opinion, but still cool. And 4 more cards. We got some Wind Witch support. This is Wind Witch Blizzard Bell. If you control the monsters or all monsters you control are Wind Witch monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing. Very cool. During your opponent's main phase, if you control a Wind Witch monster other than this card's name, quick effect, you can send this card to the hand or field to the graveyard and inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if Wind Witches have normal summons, so I'm assuming that's why I use it, not for the actual effect. That's garbage. I guess it's good for time. This is Wind Witch Diamond Bell. It's a Synchro level 8, 2800 attack, 2400 defense. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can target one Wind Witch monster in your graveyard and inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its attack. Meh. You can only use this effect of Wind Witch Diamond Bell once per turn. Once per turn, if your opponent takes battle or effect damage, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. Oh, so, okay. I was going to say, that's pretty lackluster, but obviously you're using that to trigger the affected target, so it's just an added benefit. It could just say when it's Secret Summon, destroy a card, but it doesn't. If this card can be used, this effect can be used up to twice per turn. If this card was Secret Summon using only Wind Witch monsters. Very cool. So, I know a lot of them, burn you, so you could use that twice potentially. Very, very nice. Good for Wind Witches. And this is Wind Witch Freeze Bell, level 3 spellcaster, 1200 attack, 1200 defense. If all monsters you control are Wind Witch monsters, you special summon this card from your hand. That's what I like to see. You can only use this effect of Wind Witch Freeze Bell once per turn. Once per turn during your main phase. You can increase this card's level by 1. A Wind Synchro monster that was special summoned using this card as Synchro tool cannot be destroyed by battle. That's pretty niche. I mean, that's good, I suppose. But level manipulation, fantastic. Good card for Wind Witches. And I think we're coming down to the very last card here. And that is Wind Witch Chimes. Normal spell. Target 1 Wind Witch monster you control. Special summon 1 Wind Witch monster with a different name from your deck in defense position. You can only activate one of this card's name once per turn. You cannot special summon monster the turn you activate this card except wind monsters. Nice. Cool. So that's really good. Special summon from the deck. It's like a psychic teleporter, whatever it's called, or the Drytron card now, I guess you could say. But that is Blazing Vortex in its entirety. I went through every single card. Again, if you guys like these kinds of videos, these podcasty type, where just something you throw in your car while you have a long drive, let me know. I'll do more of them. I don't mind doing it every once in a while. And I'll try to do it for every set, to be honest with you. I mean, I might as well, right? It's good for me to know what every card's going to be in here. But be on the lookout for more videos, and maybe I'll try to take some of these decks from here and work with it. Who knows? I definitely like Armed Thunder Dragon. I just like the card art for him. So I'll see if I can mix it in with something. I'm insane, so I like to do stuff like that. But other than that, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you have an absolutely wonderful night.